Chapter 1199. Ahem, how is that possible? Am I such a disobedient person? Huamin retorted guiltily. Sir, what would you like for dinner? I'll ask the kitchen to prepare it. Uncle Li walked over and took Qin Chu's jacket. Just a bowl of noodles, I don't have anything I want to eat. As soon as Qin Chu finished speaking, Huamin rushed into the kitchen. Honey, I'll cook for you. Do you want spicy or light? Qin Chu didn't say anything, he just stared quietly at Huamin's face. Why are you looking at me like that? Huamin felt guilty again. I feel like you're hiding something from me. Ahem, how is that possible? Honey, you're thinking too much? Is it because of work stress that you're overthinking things? Him? It's okay. I'll make you some soup later to help your brain. Then, Huamin ran into the kitchen and didn't dare to show his face again. Qin Chu went upstairs to change his clothes and take a shower. Then, he took his tablet downstairs and started working in the living room. At night, most of the maids went to bed, so Huamin told Uncle Li not to tell Huamin that he just came back. Half an hour later, Huamin personally made a bowl of fragrant hot noodle soup. He even made Qin Chu a bowl of brightening eyes and nourishing spirit soup. It was actually made with cassia seeds, bitter chrysanthemum, and other important ingredients. Qin Chu sat in the living room and wolfed down the noodles. In fact, as long as it was made by Huamin, he would eat it happily, no matter how bad it tasted. Huamin cupped his face with his hands and quietly watched Mr. Qin eat. Handsome people, even the way they ate was so elegant and charming. What a feast for the eyes. Why are you looking at me like that? Qin Chu looked up. Because you're handsome and easy on the eyes. Don't flatter me yet. Come, let me ask you, where's your car? When Qin Chu came back, he did not see the Audi R8 in the parking lot, so where was her car? This was a crucial question. Huamin's heart was in his mouth again. The car is broken. How did it break? Qin Chu asked while eating. I accidentally bumped into someone on the way back. I drove it to the 4S store to get it fixed. Really? Who did you bump into? A pair of sisters. They're probably new and don't know how to drive, so they rear-ended each other. Huamin continued to answer honestly. Then, how much did I pay you? That hasn't been calculated yet. Huh? They don't lack money. They said that when my car is repaired and the bill is out, they will compensate me together. Which part of the road did you hit? The highway. Huamin was telling the truth. She was indeed on the highway when Song Yishuan rear-ended her car. Why didn't you tell me that something so big happened? It's not a big deal. You're so busy every day, how could I trouble you? Huamin smiled guiltily. Qin Chu finished her noodles in a few bites and placed her chopsticks on the table. Then, she took out her phone and began talking. It's weird today, so you actually called me. Really? Huamin felt even more guilty. Yeah, I think he wants to talk to me about something, but he didn't say anything. What do you think he wants to talk to me about? After speaking, Qin Chu leaned over and looked closely at Huamin. She didn't dare to look directly at Qin Chu. She was afraid that he would see right through her. So he wants to talk to you? How would I know what he wants to talk to you about? Huamin purposely avoided the topic. But I think that if Su Yu wants to talk to me, it must have something to do with you. So, honey, can you tell me what happened tonight? Qin Chu's tone was very gentle. But the more gentle it was, the more Huamin was scared. It was like the calm before the storm. At this moment, Huamin was in a dilemma. She was wondering if she should confess and ask for leniency, or if she should just deny it and continue to hide the truth. Chapter 1200. After hesitating for 5 seconds, in the end, Huamin purposely looked up at the ceiling and said, "The weather is nice today. It's sunny and windy." The truth was, Huamin didn't want to lie to Qin Chu, but she was really afraid that Mr. Qin would get angry. Every time Mr. Qin got angry, it would be like the ice age in the house. In the end, Qin Chu stared at Huamin for a while, then took out his phone and placed it on the table. This video is going viral on WeChat today. It's pretty interesting, take a look. Huamin suspiciously picked up the phone and took a look. Holy shit, wasn't this a video of her and the Song sisters racing? From the visual angle it looked like an aerial shot, but it was very clear. All of a sudden, Huamin felt like she was struck by lightning. This. Huamian stammered for a long time, unable to say anything. Don't you think the license plate looks familiar? Qin Chu looked at her with a smile in his eyes. It would have been better if Mr. Qin didn't smile, but when he did, she got goosebumps. Honey. I'm sorry. Huamin saw that she couldn't hide the truth anymore, so she immediately started apologizing. Oh, you're sorry? What did you do wrong? Shouldn't you tell me that you lent your car to someone else to race? No, I didn't lend it to anyone else, I drove it myself. Huamin didn't want to weave any more lies, so she decided to come clean. That shouldn't be, my wife. You've always been a steady driver, why would you race? Qin Chu purposely rubbed his chin and said, Honey, this is what happened. Then, during the 10-minute-long statement, Huamin explained the truth of what happened to Qin Chu. Everything she said was true, and she wasn't exaggerating at all. After hearing what she said, Qin Chu quietly asked, I'm not interested in anything else, and I don't want to know why you were racing or who you were racing with. How's the other person's injury? I just want to ask you, why did you race behind my back? It was an emergency and I was angry, so I made a bet with her. Did you know that Song Yishuan is an amateur racer? Then did you know that the Akina mountain track is known as the Road of Death? Qin Chu asked again. The smile on his face gradually disappeared, and his expression became colder and colder. Then have you ever thought about how I would feel if you were the one who got hit? Qin Chu's to Hua Qin Chu, Huamian, Huamian, you're so selfish. You only care about your own feelings and never consider mine. You have no idea how important you are to me. You treat this as a game, but it's a disaster for me. I'm a little tired, I don't want to say anything else. After Qin Chu finished speaking, he turned around and went upstairs with his tablet. Huamin was left alone in the living room, all alone and cold. She didn't feel good about it. After Qin Chu went upstairs, he went straight to his study and turned on his computer to do some work. The video was taken by some racing enthusiasts who happened to be near Akina Mountain. They used a small aerial camera to take pictures of the two cars. Then, they crazily reposted it on their WeChat moments. The title of the video was, If Your Girlfriend Drove Like This, Would You Dare to Ride in Her? Countless netizens commented that the two cars were too fast. Did they have a death wish? Some professional racers also praised. The owner of the Audi is amazing. Although she's not very good at driving, she's very stable and beautiful when she turns. The person who posted the video didn't want to get into trouble, so they censored the first 2 digits of the license plate. However, Qin Chu could still tell that it was Huamin's car. He wondered why his left eyelid kept twitching tonight. It turned out that his worrisome wife had caused trouble again. Just then, Qin Chu's phone rang. Chapter 12:01. Qin Chu, I was careless about your wife, I'm sorry. After Rick fell in love with his girlfriend, he had been intimately attached to her. He used to send people to protect Huamin, but things had been peaceful recently, so he let his guard down. Now, Huamin's racing incident had spread throughout the industry. Rick immediately apologized to Qin Chu. It's okay, it's not your fault, my Mian is really a pain in the ass. Qin Chu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Okay, call me if you need anything. The two men hung up after a few words. At this time, Gao Ran sent him a WeChat voice message. Mr. Rich, come out and drink. How dare you ask me to drink with you? I haven't had the chance to settle the score with you for not telling me. What are you talking about? I don't understand. Gao Ran immediately felt guilty. Go on, keep making things up. I'm getting more and more confused, Gao Ran pretended to be confused, trying to get away with it. You used to think that we were on the same page and that we were still buddies. But now that you slept with Zhu Lingling, you betrayed her, right? You helped her hide it from me? No, how could I? You're still being stubborn. Good, very good. Then swear that if you hide anything from me, you'll have erectile dysfunction for the rest of your life. Fuck. You're so evil. Gao Ran was so angry that he almost stomped his feet. If you dare to swear, I'll believe you. Qin Chu didn't give up. Fine, I give up. Qin Chu, you're so evil. I really shouldn't have done that. You're so smart, so you must know that Huamin needs to be taught a lesson, or else she'll be too stubborn. We're talking about you now. You're a police officer, but you're so spineless that you're betrayed by a woman. No, I'm innocent. You don't know how evil Huamin is. She said that if I didn't help her hide it from you, she would tell Lingling that I was dating Lin Xuejiao. You don't know how much Lingling trusts Huamin. Would I dare to take that risk? I've been single for 10,000 years and finally found a girlfriend. Can you bear to see me get dumped? Qin Chu chuckled softly. Huamian and her weren't family, and they wouldn't enter the same house. She even dared to threaten Gao Ran and made him obedient. She was really something else. The two of you should take care of your own business, right? Don't drag us down with you. I wish you a wonderful night. Goodbye. With that, Gao Ran started playing dead. He made up his mind that no matter what Qin Chu said, he wouldn't reply. Qin Chu looked at his watch. It had been almost 15 minutes since he went upstairs. According to his calculations, Huamin would definitely come and apologize within 20 minutes. When that time came, just wait and see. Gao Ran was right about one thing. It was time to teach this little wild horse of his a lesson, otherwise he would really be out of control. This time he was racing. Next time he would probably fly into the sky. Downstairs, Huamin racked his brains for a way to appease Mr. Qin. He seemed to be really angrier than before. In the end, Huamin decided to use his ultimate move. After 20 minutes of stalemate, Huamin decided to take the initiative. Outside the study, Huamin gently knocked on the door. Qin Chu didn't even look up as he continued to read. Huamin was wearing a light pink, lacy, sexy nightgown. Zhu Lingling had bought it for her when they were shopping. Zhu Lingling told her that she would be able to make Qin Chu fall head over heels for her. This nightgown was translucent and faintly discernible. It was indeed very seductive, honey, Huamin purposely said in a coquettish voice. Her soft voice made Qin Chu's bones melt. Chapter 1202. Qin Chu pretended not to hear her. Huamin walked over and got closer. Then she stood beside him and called out weakly, "Honey, what?" Qin Chu looked up and purposely put on a straight face. Fuck? Qin Chu was speechless. His wife stole the line he always used to say, "Honey, what do you think of this dress?" "It's nothing, I hate lace." Qin Chu purposely put on a long face. Huamin. Then she turned around and ran away. Qin Chu was puzzled. He had just dealt a blow to Huamian, and now she was running away? Her heart was too fragile. Was he being too harsh with his words? Should he coax her? At this thought, Qin Chu suddenly realized that she was the one in the wrong, not him. He had to be firm. Yes, he had to be firm. He couldn't surrender so quickly. He couldn't do it either. Seduction didn't work either. Then, Qin Chu picked up his teacup, took a sip, and went back to work. 5 minutes later, Huamin appeared at the door again. Honey. Her voice was even more coquettish than last time. Qin Chu unintentionally turned his head and almost fell off his chair, because at this moment, Huamin's nightgown was gone. She had changed into an extremely sexy, blue-striped maid outfit, trying to seduce him with a uniform? No, he couldn't admit defeat. He couldn't let her go so easily. Qin Chu coughed lightly and pretended not to see anything. He turned around and continued working. Honey, does this look good? Huamin really should thank Zhu Lingling. In order to spice up their relationship, she bought him so many weird things. Although she didn't wear it even once because she was shy, it came in handy when she made a mistake. It doesn't look good, it's so ugly, Qin Chu said against his will. Huamin looked down at herself. When she looked in the mirror just now, she clearly felt fine. Did Qin Chu not like it? Then she turned around and ran away again. This time, Qin Chu wasn't in the mood to work. His Mian was playing a game of cross-dressing. She even tried to seduce him with a uniform. He wasn't in the mood to continue working. His heart began to beat faster. 5 minutes later, when Huamin came back again, she had changed into a bunny girl outfit. It was white and had 2 rabbit ears. It was very cute. Qin Chu almost couldn't hold back his laughter. In the end, it was his strong willpower that controlled him. Then he deliberately asked with a dark face, So our house has become a big forest? Huo Mian looked at her bra, low-cut blouse, and bunny ears. She was not used to it either. Then, looking at Mr. Qin's murderous eyes, she was sure that she had failed again. Huo Mian stomped her foot in anger, turned around, and ran away again. In the bedroom, she thought about it and decided that she couldn't keep changing her clothes like this. It was a waste of time, and she looked like a clown in front of Mr. Qin. After thinking for a moment, Huo Min decided to use her ultimate move. When Huo Min appeared in front of Qin Chu again, Qin Chu's eyes widened. Huo Min was wearing a bikini, which was rare. She was so traditional that she wouldn't wear such a sexy swimsuit when she went on vacation to the Maldives. But today, she was wearing a bikini, and it was aqua blue. It was a beautiful bikini. It completely exposed Huo Min's golden ratio figure. She had a flat stomach, a slim waist, a curvy butt, and a not too big but not too small cup size. Most importantly, she wet her hair, and water droplets kept dripping down. It was an extremely seductive scene. Qin Chu swallowed his saliva. He couldn't help but whisper, "Honey." Chapter 1203. Seeing Qin Chu's expression, Huo Min knew that her trump card had worked. Oh yeah, she wanted to cheer in her heart. Huo Min gestured with her finger. "Honey, it's getting late, shouldn't we go to bed?" "You're right, Mrs. Qin." The two of them began to play the game of time travel, and they began to talk about ancient people. Then, Qin Chu stood up. He picked up Huo Min horizontally and walked straight into the spacious bedroom on the second floor. Huo Min was elated. If she knew that this method would work, she would have used it a long time ago. She didn't have to be so scared. She almost peed her pants. Mr. Qin was really scary when he was angry. Huo Min made up her mind that Mr. Qin would fall for her beauty trap and not pursue what happened tonight. But she forgot one thing. Who was Mr. Qin? He was famous for being two-faced. Would he let Huo Min off the hook so easily? No, if he let her off the hook so easily, then he wouldn't be Qin Chu. In the bedroom, after Qin Chu placed Huo Min on the bed, he didn't rush to get on top of her. Instead, he began to unbuckle his belt. Huo Mian opened her eyes shyly when she heard the clanking sound of metal. She thought to herself, "My husband knows how to unbuckle his belt, and I don't even have to do it myself." Just as she thought about it, she saw Qin Chu tie Huo Min's hands up with his belt. Honey, are you that hardcore?" Huo Min was a little dizzy. "No way? S&M?" This was too explosive. How come she didn't know that her husband was such a wild man before? Sure enough, although humans had evolved into the highest level of animals, their bodies were still stimulated by male hormones, and they still had the most primitive wildness in their hearts. Huo Min thought that if her husband wasn't angry, then it wouldn't be a big deal to play hardcore once in a while. After all, he was her husband, not an outsider. Plus, Mr. Qin was so nice to her that he wouldn't hurt her. Thinking of this, Huo Min said weakly, "Honey, just tie me up. Forget about the whip and wax." I can't take it." Qin Chu narrowed his eyes and looked down at Huo Min. Then he smiled evilly. "Can't take it? You're pretending to be a little sheep now. When you're racing, why don't you think about whether you can handle it?" "Hubby, I was wrong. You can kill me or torture me as you wish. I just ask for your forgiveness." Huo Min continued to act pitiful in an attempt to gain Mr. Qin's pity. "I don't want to kill you, nor do I want to skin you. I just want to." After saying that, Qin Chu bent down and tore with his big hand. The force wasn't very strong, but the bikini was instantly turned into strips of cloth. All of a sudden, the spring scenery became ineffective. Under the bright lights was Huo Min's perfect and fair body. She had the shyness and inexperience of a young girl. She was a genius in other aspects, but she was a slow idiot when it came to sex. Because of her shyness and embarrassment, she always pretended to be an ostrich. She would bury her head under the covers and only show her head when he was done. Zhu Lingling had scolded her several times and told her that she was useless. Zhu Lingling even taught her some tricks. However, she was too embarrassed to use them on Qin Chu. Today's occasion, under this kind of atmosphere, was truly unprecedented. "Hubby, please forgive me." Huo Min looked at Qin Chu with puppy eyes. She had a pitiful look on her face. "Sure, after tonight, I'll forgive you." After saying this, Mr. Qin bent down and started kissing her all over her body. The sound of rapid breathing could be heard in the room. In an instant, the atmosphere became extremely ambiguous. Chapter 1204. Huamin originally thought that they were just going to have sex like every other time. At most, Mr. Qin wouldn't have enough and would do it a few more times, but this time, she guessed wrongly. Under Mr. Qin's skillful teasing, Huamian's face was as red as a boiled crab. Her desire was at its peak, and she thought that they could make love to each other. But she was wrong again. Mr. Qin actually got up and left. What was going on? Honey, what is it, honey? Qin Chu sat on the chaise lounge, lit up a cigarette, and asked slowly. Huamin found it hard to speak. You want it? Qin Chu asked. Huamin nodded shyly, but Mr. Qin said the cruelest word of her life, no. Damn it. He teased her until she couldn't take it anymore, and then he got up to smoke and shamelessly said that he wouldn't give it to her. Honey, don't be like this. Huamin's heart itched. She was a normal person, okay? Who could stand being teased like this by the person they loved? Think about it, calm down. Huamin, her hands were tied by Mr. Qin's belt, so she couldn't move at all. Huamin lay on the bed, closed her eyes, and forced herself to calm down. Don't think about anything and calm down. I don't want it, I just don't want it. After 5 minutes, Huamin felt a lot better. She opened her eyes, and was dumbfounded again. Mr. Qin threw away the cigarette in his hand and pressed himself on her again. This time, he kissed her like a storm. The consciousness that she had just gathered with great difficulty was once again crushed mercilessly. Then, just when she couldn't take it anymore, Mr. Qin got up and straightened his collar. Qin Chu, you bastard, are you messing with me? Huamin finally understood what was going on. Mr. Qin wasn't asking for the truth, he was just toying with her. Qin Chu's gaze was clearly saying, yes, I'm playing with you. So what? Bite me? Honey, calm down. We'll continue in 5 minutes. Huamin felt as if countless alpacas were running through his heart. Qin Chu, what kind of hero are you to play like this? I'm sorry, I'm not a hero. In this family, I only want one identity, your husband. If you want to kill me, then do it quickly. Killing me is just a matter of time. What's the point of playing like this? Interesting, very interesting. Seeing Qin Chu's infuriating look, Huamin was also furious. Seeing that force didn't work, she changed her strategy. Honey, don't be like this, okay? Let's talk things out. I can't talk, but I'll do my best. I promise that tonight will be very enjoyable. Qin Chu smiled meaningfully. Huamin was speechless. She couldn't hold it in anymore. Although her hands were tied, her legs were still flexible. She slowly got up and was about to get off the bed. However, before she could reach the bed, Qin Chu's big hand grabbed her white ankle. Honey, the game isn't over, you can't go anywhere. Then, Qin Chu took off his white shirt and pressed Huamin down again. Then, it was another round of extreme lovemaking, but no matter what, he wouldn't give it to her. It was foreplay all the way, and Huamin felt like her entire body was on fire. Like a raging fire, Qin Chu's method was so fucking cruel. Qin Chu, we're a married couple, how can you treat me like this? She deliberately provoked him. We're a married couple, why didn't you think of me when you were racing? Honey, I was wrong. Huamin cried and begged for mercy again. It's too late to admit your mistake. Then, Qin Chu began another round of gentle torture. The truth was, during this process, Qin Chu was even more uncomfortable than Huamin. He loved her so much that his body was reacting to it. Huamin felt something hard pressing against her legs. That feeling was indescribably satisfying. She took a deep breath and angrily asked, "Stupid Qin Chu, do you dare to come in here?" Chapter 1205. I wouldn't dare. Mr. Qin replied shamelessly. Huamian wanted to bang her head against the wall. How could he torture her like this? He might as well just beat her up. She was going crazy. In the end, Huamin couldn't persuade him with force or persuasion, so she had to give up resisting. She silently cried. As expected, Qin Chu's heart softened when he saw Huamin like this. Honey. He called out with heartache. Don't talk to me. Huamin turned her head away angrily. Strange, she was the one who did something wrong, so why did it seem like he was the one at fault in the end? Honey, don't be mad. I'll give it to you. Get out, don't touch me. Huamin was furious. She kicked Qin Chu away. She became anxious as she messed around. This was the perfect example of this couple. Mr. Qin felt wronged. Who was the one who did something wrong? I did something wrong, but I also admitted my mistake. No one would do something like you did. You did it to me all night, wah. Then, Huamin couldn't help but cry. Qin Chu wasn't afraid of anything, but he was afraid of Huamin crying. No matter how big of a mistake Huamin made, as long as she cried, his heart would immediately soften. Honey, don't cry. I won't pursue this matter, okay? Wah, honey, not only will I not pursue this matter, I will also apologize to you. I shouldn't have tortured you like this, okay? Wah, honey, what do you want? As long as you don't cry, I'll listen to everything you say. Really? Huamin immediately stopped crying and glanced at Mr. Qin suspiciously. Really? Qin Chu made up his mind to not pursue this matter. As long as his wife didn't cry, everything would be okay. Then, untie me first. Huamin pouted and cupped her hands. Without another word, Qin Chu untied her. Is this okay, honey? No, use this to tie yourself up. Qin Chu. Wah, don't cry, honey, I'll do it myself. Qin Chu didn't know what to do. As long as Huamin didn't cry, he would do anything. Qin Chu tied himself up. Still unsatisfied, Huamian took out Qin Chu's other belt from the cabinet. She tied his legs as well. Honey, what are you trying to do? Qin Chu felt uneasy. Qin Chu, Hua Qin Chu, and Hua Qin Chut. You do what you do to me. Qin Chudisus. Tidu. Huamin bent down and began kissing Mr. Qin like a storm. Qin Chu sucked in a breath of cold air. How could he resist such blatant seduction? Qin Chu's voice was a little hoarse and deep, but it had an indescribable charm to it. Yeah. Don't do that, you're playing with fire. Playing with fire is good, I like playing with fire. Huamin looked like a scoundrel who got what he wanted. After using her tears to get Mr. Qin to take pity on her, she immediately turned hostile and began doing the same thing to Mr. Qin. It was perfect. Are you sure? Qin Chu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. I'm very sure. Sure, don't say anything. Just enjoy the taste that I just enjoyed. Huamin tried her best to imitate Mr. Qin's seductive technique. However, a tearing sound was heard. The belt came open. Mr. Qin mercilessly broke open such a sturdy belt. Was it because she didn't tie it tight enough? Before Huamin could react, Mr. Qin suddenly pushed her onto the bed and devoured her. Qin Chu, you bastard, you cheated. Huamin looked like she was wronged. Qin Chu smiled but didn't say anything. Then he started kissing her. Chapter 1206. The next morning, when Huamin woke up, it was already 9 a.m. Oh no, I'm late. She immediately got up and realized that her back was sore. Damn it, Qin Chu. Last night was too much for her, okay? Even if it was their wedding night, he didn't need to go that far. He wanted to eat her up. Just then she noticed the note next to her pillow. It was obviously Mr. Qin's handwriting. Honey, I helped you take the morning off. Sleep well. Also, last night, thank you for your hard work. Huamin didn't know whether to laugh or cry after reading the note. Last night was indeed hard on her. Her back was about to break, and her legs were sore as hell. That terrifying amount of energy was almost equivalent to climbing a mountain. Huamin stretched and then weakly got up from the bed. She changed her clothes and went downstairs. Uncle Li immediately ordered someone to prepare breakfast. Just then, her phone began to ring. It was an unknown number. Hello, is this Miss Huamin? Speaking. I'm Miss Song's accountant. Miss Song asked me to transfer the money to you. Which bank account do you think is more convenient? Huamin suddenly remembered the bet she made with Song Yishuan. If she won, she would pay for her car in full. A bank account will do. I just sent it to you. Okay, I'll transfer it to you right away. How are Song Yishuan and the others? Huamin asked tentatively. Miss Song is already out of the hospital, but her sister's injuries are quite serious. She needs plastic surgery and is still in the hospital. Oh, okay, I got it. After hanging up, Huamin sent her bank account number to the bank. 10 minutes later, she received a notification from the bank. More than 1,000,000 yuan had been transferred to her account. Although Song Yishuan was annoying, she still kept her promise. Then, the accountant sent her another message. Miss Song said that the money has been transferred. Miss Hua, she hopes that you can delete the video on your phone. I know. Huamin knew that Song Yishuan thought that the video was a disaster, so there was no point in keeping it, so he just deleted it. She could only hope that Song Yishuan would keep her word and avoid her the next time she saw her. Anyway, he didn't want to see the Song sisters. Otherwise, he would be in a bad mood. After breakfast, Huamin looked at the time. It was still early, so he went to Sky Blessing Court to see his mother. Sky Blessing Court? Huamin, why are you here at this hour? Aren't you at work? Yang Meirong was surprised to see Huamin. Ah, I took the morning off. Huamin looked around and asked, where's Xiuping? She went out. She said she went out to eat with her friends. Friends? She's only been in the city for a few days, and she already has friends? Huamin was a little surprised. Communication is so advanced these days. There's QQ and WeChat. I don't know how they met. She doesn't want to listen even if I tell her too much. Yang Meirong sighed. That won't do. Who's going to take responsibility if she gets scammed by an online friend? Mom, why don't you tell her to go home? She'll be worried. Huamin didn't like Yang Xiuping, so he didn't want her to stay. Okay, I'll talk to her when she comes back. Yang Meirong nodded. All right, Mian, have you eaten yet? I'll get you something to eat. It's okay, I already ate. I just came to see you. Then, Huamin took out 50,000 yuan in cash from his bag and placed it on the table. Mom, take this. Don't be stingy. I can make money now, so you have to treat yourself better. You're giving me money again. I don't need it. I still haven't spent all the money you gave me last time. Take it, you can buy whatever you want. After giving his mother the money, Huamin ate some fruit. Seeing that it was about time, he called a cab and went to the hospital. His car was sent for repair, so he probably wouldn't be able to get it back anytime soon. As soon as Huamin arrived at the hospital, Jiang Xiaowei called. Mian, are you at work? Yeah, I just got to the hospital. What's up? Did Suyu look for you? No, why would he look for me? Huamin was a little confused. Jiang Xiaowei wanted to say something but stopped. Chapter 1207. What's wrong with him? Huamin asked anxiously. She thought something happened to Suyu. He's going on a long trip, his flight is at 1:20. I thought he'd visit you before he left. A long trip? Where is he going? Huamin was a bit surprised. Suyu rarely went on long trips. Even when he went overseas for vacation, he would be back in a week at most. He's going south with his grandfather for an inspection. He's going with the army. I think he'll be gone for at least a month. What about the company? Imperial Star is fine. He can give orders over the phone. Plus, the vice president of Imperial Star is from his family, so it's fine. So he didn't go to you? Huamin nodded. He didn't call you either? Jiang Xiaowei asked in disbelief. Maybe he thought it through. Who knows? Anyway, I heard from Wei Liao. It's a sudden decision. It is. After hanging up the phone, Huamin didn't think too much about it. Su Yu's trip had nothing to do with her. Then, she picked up the patient information her assistant gave her and began to read it. The truth was, Su Yu did come to Southside in the morning, but he didn't see Huamin. He asked her assistant and found out that she took the morning off. Su Yu left in disappointment. There was only an hour left until 1:20. Inside the VIP lounge at the airport. What's wrong with you? You're going to South Sea for a month? Are you crazy? Tang Chuan was very displeased. If Su Yu left, who would hang out with him? My grandfather is old, and sometimes even his assistant can't figure him out. I'll go with him and take care of him. I think you want to hide from Huamin. Why would I hide from her? Su Yu smiled helplessly. You want to see if you can try to forget her and let her go after being away for a month. You speak as if you know me very well. Su Yu smiled. Do you dare to say no? Tang Chuan questioned. If you say so, then so be it. But if I can really go out for a month and let go of her, that would be a relief. Suyu was actually in a bit of pain right now. The deeper he fell, the less free and easy he felt, especially when he found out that Huamin had risked his life to race. If Huamin was his woman, he would definitely carry her upstairs and give her a good spanking. I'll teach her a good lesson and see if she dares to be so lawless in the future. But he couldn't because he didn't have the right to control Huamin. The only person who could control Huamin was Qin Chu. It would always be Qin Chu. So every time he thought about this, Suyu felt extremely pained. Last night in the yurt, after Huamin left, he was in a bad mood and drank a lot of white wine. Then he completely got drunk. After drinking, he vomited, and after vomiting, he drank again. Even Jiang Shaowei was speechless. She never thought that Suyu would love Huamin so much. He loved her so much that he couldn't even talk about it. When Suyu returned to the mansion drunk, he didn't even remember what his mother and grandfather said. Anyway, when he woke up this morning, his grandfather announced that he had to take him with him to the south. Maybe his grandfather didn't want to see him in so much pain and wanted to take him into the army so that he could experience life in the south. To be honest, Suyu didn't want to leave because his heart ached when he thought about not being able to see Huamin for a month. Then you don't want to see her before you leave? Tang Chuan asked. Forget it. Suyu lowered his head with a heavy heart. At this moment, Tang Chuan picked up his phone and called Huamin. Huamin? I'm Tang Chuan. Can you come to the airport to send Lord Su off? I'm begging you. Tang Chuan rarely spoke so seriously, let alone when he was begging someone. Huamin was dumbfounded when he heard this. You little brat, what are you doing? Hang up. Suyu didn't want to make things difficult for Huamin, so he grabbed Tang Chuan's phone. There's still an hour before departure. I really want to know, will she come? Tang Chuan looked at Suyu sympathetically. Lord Su did so much for that woman, and now she wasn't even willing to send him off. Chapter 1208. Southside Recuperation Center. Huamin sat in her office in a daze as she held her phone in her hand. She knew that Suyu was leaving Sea City for a while. Because Jiang Shaowei had told her about it a long time ago, she thought that Suyu would send her a Weibo message or something, but he didn't. What was even more surprising was that Tang Chuan, a passerby, couldn't stand it anymore. He actually took the initiative to call her and asked her to send Suyu off, but was it really meaningful for her to go? Of course not. First of all, if Huamin went to send Suyu off, even if Mr. Qin wasn't jealous, he would still feel uncomfortable. Plus, it wasn't like Suyu wasn't coming back. He was only leaving for a month. Second of all, she didn't like Suyu at all. If she went to send Suyu off, it would definitely leave him with a glimmer of hope. Rather than continue to make him suffer, she might as well not go and cut off his hopes. Third of all, even if she and Suyu were friends, they were very distant friends. There was no need to make it so grand and even go to the airport to send him off. So, after some consideration, Huamin decided to be a heartless woman for once. She knew that Wei Liao, Tang Chuan, and even Shaowei might think that she was too heartless. Suyu did so much for her, but she didn't even send him off. But it wasn't as simple as a farewell. She knew that she owed Suyu, so she couldn't take everything that Suyu did for her for granted. But in this life, she met Qin Chu first, so she couldn't give anyone else her feelings. Her heart was too small. It was so small that it could only fit Mr. Qin alone. She wasn't greedy. God had already given her the best man, so she had to cherish him. She would rather betray him than betray him. In this life, she would rather betray the world than betray Qin Chu's love. Mr. Qin didn't like to talk. Most of the time, he used his actions to prove himself. That man, from his youth to his middle age, had been deeply in love with her all these years. That love was deep and unforgettable. Back when Qin Chu underwent heart surgery, Huamin had experienced those demonic days. She finally saw her own heart clearly. She was willing to sacrifice her life for him, so, no matter what kind of infamy she had to bear, no matter what kind of accusations she had to bear, it was fine to say that she was ungrateful. You could say that she was burning the bridge after crossing the river, or even that she was not worth befriending. There was no way she was going to give it to Suyu. He definitely couldn't go to the airport, but she really hoped that Suyu could get over it, give up his obsession with her, and pursue a new beginning that belonged to him. Chief, there's another patient who wants to see you, but you're not supposed to see them today. Do you want to pick them up? Xianxia ran in, panting. Pick it up. Those who are here to register must be in a hurry to see a doctor. They can't be delayed. Huamin nodded and calmly continued to make house calls. At the airport, a young man in a military uniform walked over to Su Yu and saluted him. Young Master Su, the chief asked me to tell you to board the plane. Su Yu nodded. When his grandfather went out, the plane was specially used by the military. It wasn't as simple as the private planes of the rich. Most importantly, this plane had combat capabilities and was quite powerful. Plus, there were quite a lot of leaders going south this time, so there were a lot of bodyguards following them. Su Yu, as a family member, was just one of them. Do you want to wait a little longer? Maybe she'll come? Tang Chuan couldn't help but ask. There's no need to wait, she won't come. Su Yu knew his place. He knew how Huamin felt about him. So, he didn't have any hope. Before boarding the plane, Su Yu didn't forget to look back at the empty corridor. She really didn't come. Lord Su, come back soon. Tang Chuan waved his hand reluctantly. Su Yu carried a simple travel bag, smiled, and turned to board the plane. In the afternoon, Huamin was reading documents in his office. A woman wearing sunglasses and a mask pushed open the door and walked in. Hey miss, you can't go in. Our chief won't be seeing patients in the afternoon. Xianxia wanted to stop her, but she couldn't. Huamin looked up. Before he could say anything, he saw the woman take off her sunglasses and mask. Huamin froze because this person was Mo Shui. Chapter 1209. Huamin, can we talk? Mo Shui smiled. Sure, but I'm at work right now. I won't take up too much of your time, Mo Shui emphasized. Okay. In the end, Huamin nodded. His assistant saw that Huamin knew this woman, so he didn't say anything else and left. Mo Shui sat down on the chair across from Huamin. She looked a little tired and her face was a little pale. Do you want some water? No, thank you. Should I call you a young lady or Huamin? Mo Shui smiled bitterly and continued to ask. You can call me whatever you like, I don't mind. Then I'll call you Huamin. Huamin nodded. After a moment of silence, Mo Shui looked up at Huamin and said, word for word, I'm pregnant. Huamin was shocked. Mo Shui was still single. She wasn't even married yet, but she was pregnant. After recovering from his shock, Huamin immediately asked, Huxiqian? Mo Shui nodded, Huamin didn't know what to say. Mo Shui and Huxiqian never announced that they were a couple, so her pregnancy was quite sudden. Does he know? He does. Then what did you guys talk about? Do you want to keep the child? Huamin asked calmly. Mo Shui took a deep breath and looked at Huamin. I came to find you because of this. Huxiqian wants me to abort the child. You know that we're just partners in bed. But I don't want to. I love him and I want to keep the child. Even if he doesn't marry me, I don't care. I just want to have the child. Then give birth to her. The child is in your belly. It's your freedom to keep her or not. Mo Shui smiled bitterly. That's impossible. You don't know Huxiqian at all. He won't agree. What can I do for you? Huamin asked the main point. Mo Shui must have come to her for a favor. Otherwise, she wouldn't have come all the way to South Side. Mo Shui was silent for a while. Then, she suddenly reached out and grabbed Huamin's wrist. Huamin, I'm begging you, please help me. Huxiqian loves you a lot. He'll definitely listen to you. Me? That's impossible. You've overestimated me. Huxiqian and I only have a mutually beneficial relationship. Then can you give it a try? Please take pity on me and my child. Beg you, Huamin. Mo Shui's tears fell as she spoke. Huamin's heart softened as he looked at her. A woman was pregnant with a man's child, but the man didn't want it and even forced her to abort it. It was indeed a sad thing. Shui, don't be like this. I don't have a choice. Huamin, I know we're not even friends. I'm begging you because I really don't have a choice. Huasiqian is too cold-blooded. He won't listen to anyone. Tell him that as long as I give birth to the child, I'm willing to stop acting and leave the entertainment industry. I'll take care of the child without asking for anything in return. This is actually a private matter between the two of you. I really don't have the right to interfere. You're his favorite sister. The truth is, I'm not really his sister. You know we're not related by blood. Huamin felt a little awkward. Huamin, Emoshue, looked at Huamin with tears in her eyes. In the end, Huamin's heart was touched. She really wanted to get pregnant and have a baby, but there was no news about it. Now that Emoshue was pregnant, even though she was unmarried, a superstar like her could easily have a child. Shue, don't cry. I can help you. Chapter 12:10. Really? Really? But have you thought about it? If you can't marry him, the child will have a single-parent family. How will the child live without a father? Won't that be too hard for the child? You might as well find someone who's suitable for you, get married, and have a complete family. Huamin, to be honest, I want to marry Huasiqian for the rest of my life. I want to marry him. Then, did you tell him? When he was with me before, he already reminded me in advance that when we're together, we can play however we want. I can get whatever money I want, but he can't marry me. I was the one who asked for too much. I couldn't control myself and fell into his trap. I can't blame him. It must be hard for you to think that way. Huamin sympathized with Emoshue. Emoshue bit her lip and didn't say anything else. How far along are you? A little over 5 weeks. Emoshue subconsciously touched her belly. Life is magical. Maybe you two are fated to be together. Since you're pregnant, take a break from work. I'll ask the company to give you a break. Thank you, Huamin. Emoshue was touched. You're welcome, this is what I should do. As for Huasiqian, I'll try, but I'm not sure if I'll succeed. He's a strange person sometimes, and I can't get him to listen to me. I know. Emoshue nodded. But since you asked, I'll try my best. Huamin, thank you so much. Emoshue thanked him profusely. Then she left the office. After she left, Huamin was no longer in the mood to work. Emoshue liked Huasiqian, and she had known about it for a long time. It was an open secret that the two of them had been in a relationship for a long time, and everyone in the industry knew about it. However, she didn't expect Emoshue to be so serious about giving birth to the child. It was unbelievable. After all, Emoshue was a superstar. Why would she do something like this? Looks like the magic of love is really powerful. No matter how smart a woman was or how noble her identity was, she would not be able to resist the desire of a moth flying into a flame. Thinking of this, Huamin sighed slightly, and he picked up his phone and sent a WeChat message. Are you there? Here, Huasiqian replied instantly. This was the first time that Huamin had sent her a WeChat message. It was truly a memorable moment. I have something to tell you. Sure, I'm all ears. Huasiqian sounded very happy. It's hard to explain on WeChat. Can we meet? Of course. You can set the time and place, and I'll be there on time. If Huasiqian hadn't heard Huamin's voice message, she would have thought that her WeChat account had been hacked. Not only did she take the initiative to send him a WeChat message, she even asked him to meet up. Was this really the cold and gentle girl he knew? Huamin looked at his watch. How about this, 6:30 p.m. at Rhine River Cafe on East 3rd Road? You know where it is, right? Okay, I'll be there. Then, Huamin sent a WeChat message to Qin Chu, saying that he had something to talk to Huasiqian about and that he didn't have to come to Southside to pick him up. Qin Chu respected Huamin's personal space and privacy. Therefore, he was very straightforward and told him to call when he was done and pick her up. After work, Huamin changed into a medium-length black cotton jacket and a white scarf. Then he hailed a taxi and went to the cafe. Huasiqian was already there. After taking over Hua Zhenghai's role, he became a lot more high-profile. His white Maserati was replaced by a gold Rolls-Royce Phantom. Huamin walked in and walked towards Huasiqian. Huasiqian picked up a bouquet of lilies from his seat and handed it to him. Since this is the first time you took the initiative to treat me to coffee, I bought you a bouquet of flowers on the way. If you don't like it, you can throw it away when you leave. After hearing what Wuxia said, Huamin couldn't refuse. He took the flowers and casually placed them on the seat beside him. Thank you. Little sister Mian, you look good these days, you've become prettier. Wuxia held his coffee and looked at Huamin with a smile. Let's get down to business. Did you know that Immortal is pregnant? Chapter 12:11. I know, Wuxia said casually, as if he didn't think it was important. The child is yours, right? She told you that? Wuxia narrowed his eyes and sized up Huamin. Answer me first, right? Yes, so what? Wuxia replied. Immortal came to me. She wants to keep the child. Of course, it would be best if you could marry her. It'd be the best of both worlds. Marry her? Are you crazy? Wuxia smiled coldly. Before Huamin could say anything, Wuxia sat up straight and leaned closer to Huamin. Mian, this is just a game for adults. It has nothing to do with love. When I first got together with Immortal, I told her that I wouldn't marry her. We were together for what we each needed. All these years, I've spent a lot of money to support her. Isn't that great? If she wants to get married, I won't interfere. But you also have to deal with her accidental pregnancy properly, right? At least give me an explanation. After all, she's a victim. Huamin was more feminine. He thought that accidental pregnancy was because the man was too selfish. If he didn't want it, he should have just worn a condom. If he didn't, he would have been a scumbag if he wanted to have fun but didn't want to take responsibility. After she asked this question, Wuxia sneered again. Victim? You mean a woman who set me up, got herself pregnant, and used all kinds of methods to force me to marry her? You said she's a victim? That's the funniest joke I've ever heard. What forced marriage? What scheme? Huamin immediately asked, sensing that something was fishy. When we were together, we always wore condoms. Last time, I also wore condoms. But she still got pregnant. What does that mean? Isn't it because she tampered with the condoms herself? Huamin. Then, she pretended to be pitiful and said that she didn't want any status. On one hand, she went to the media to expose it. On the other hand, she asked you to be her lobbyist. You said that such a person is a victim. Why can't I see it? Huamin, she's not as pitiful as you think she is. I remember telling you to stay away from her. Don't be fooled by her. How should I put it? She's actually quite scary. Even Xianxia is no match for her. So, don't get involved in our business. You're involved in this mess too. But? Huamin still wanted to say something, but he was interrupted by Wuxia. Waiter, give her a fruit salad. Actually, I don't understand. If you're single, why can't you marry Immortal? She's pretty good. At least she's not worse than those so-called socialites. Is it because you want your family to form a marriage alliance and consolidate your position that you'd rather have her abort your child than give her a home? Mian, I've had a wife in mind for many years, but she's not Immortal. Wuxia said word by word with a serious expression on his face. Huamin, on the other hand, was slightly surprised. Just then, a few women walked in, the voices sounded familiar. Huamin turned around and saw that it was Xianxia and a few of her best friends. Xianxia had just walked in when she saw Huamin, and her face immediately turned awkward. Xianxia, what's wrong? I don't want to drink coffee here anymore. Let's go. Then, Xianxia turned around and left. She kept her promise and backed away from Huamin as soon as she saw him. Mian, I heard that you won a car race against the Song sisters? Wuxia changed the topic. Chapter 12:12. How did you know? That aerial video is really popular on WeChat. I recognized your car right away. Wuxia smiled. Huamin was speechless. When she thought of that damn video taken by some meddlesome fellow, she was furious. If it wasn't for that video, how would Mr. Qin know about it? How would she be tortured by Mr. Qin the entire night? Miss Song and her sister. I think they really want to die. Huasiqian said slowly with a cup of coffee in his hand. You hate them too? Yeah, but it won't be long before you see retribution. What do you mean? Huamin didn't understand. Bitches will be punished by the heavens, so I don't think the Song sisters will have a good ending. Huasiqian smiled meaningfully. I'm talking to you about Emo Shui. You sure know how to change the subject. Huamin looked at him, speechless. You don't have to talk about Emo Shui. She's smart enough to ask you for help. Tell her that it doesn't matter who she asks. She has to get an abortion, or else I won't let her get away with it. Then, Huasiqian stood up. Before he left, he smiled at Huamin. Your hairstyle today is beautiful, I like it. Huamin froze. She subconsciously touched her hair. It was still in a bun, just like every other day. She didn't know why this guy suddenly said something like that. After Huasiqian left, she called Emo Shui. She meant that she tried her best but didn't succeed. Emo Shui wasn't in a good mood, but she didn't say anything. She hurriedly thanked Huamin and hung up. Huamin then called Qin Chu. 15 minutes later, Qin Chu appeared at the entrance of the coffee shop. Did you wait long, honey? No, just for a little while. Huamin smiled. She didn't take the lilies and left them in the coffee shop. She didn't want to make Mr. Qin jealous. What do you want to eat tonight? Qin Chu asked. Whatever. I don't have much of an appetite recently. No appetite? Could it be? Qin Chu didn't finish his sentence. Huamin immediately explained, No, my period just came today. Oh. Qin Chu nodded and didn't say anything else. However, there was no disappointment in his eyes. He had already let nature take its course when it came to children. It would be better if they had children, but he wouldn't be disappointed if they didn't. He also wouldn't pressure Huamin. What did you talk about with Huasiqian? About the Hua Corporation? Qin Chu chatted casually. No, it's about his personal matters. Emo Shui is pregnant and wants to marry Huasiqian. Huasiqian won't agree, Qin Chu said. How do you know? Huamin thought it was quite strange. Huasiqian never cared about Emo Shui. Why would he marry her? Huasiqian did tell me that he already had a wife in mind many years ago, so he won't marry Emo Shui. That's strange. Who is it that he's been thinking about for so many years? Is it his first love from school? Huamin muttered curiously. Qin Chu glanced at Huamin with a complicated expression. Did he tell you that? Yeah. Huamin nodded. Honey, in the future, if possible, don't meet Huasiqian alone. I don't really like him. Okay. Huamin nodded obediently. On an island in Southeast Asia, a hot girl in a bikini sat on a rock by the sea. She picked up her phone and said to the other end, Dad, I entered the country a while ago and went to Sea City. I saw her. Are you crazy? How many times have I told you not to look for her? Don't look for her. The old man on the other end of the phone yelled in exasperation. But I miss her a lot. The girl said with a happy smile on her face. Then, how is she doing now? The old man's voice was a little agitated. He seemed to really want to know more about her. Chapter 12:13. She's doing great, she's doing great. Her brain didn't go to waste. She became a doctor, a very good doctor. The girl smiled. That's good. The old man's words seemed to have a deeper meaning. Dad, when can we go and meet her? I can't wait. Now's not the time. You can't mess around. If you don't want to kill her, then don't go. You can't even enter the country. There are too many people watching you. You're taking too much risk. I'm doing it because... Before the girl could finish her sentence, the old man cut her off. The old man angrily hung up the phone. The girl pouted and threw her phone onto the beach. She took out the work pass that she had painstakingly stolen from the bag beside her. She gently touched it, then she repeated the words, Neurology attending physician, Huamin. When she said Huamin's name, her eyes were filled with endless gentleness. Song Yisher had been staying at the first hospital ever since she raced with Song Yishuan at Mount Akina. Actually, with her condition, she should have stayed at Southside to recuperate, but she hated Huamin too much. Also, she promised Huamin that if she lost, she and Song Yishuan would have to avoid Huamin. Therefore, she had no choice but to stay at the first hospital. Song Yisher's other body parts were fine, but her nose was a little dented. When the car fell, her head hit the bridge of her nose. If it was an original nose, it would have been fine, since it would only be a slight fracture. However, her nose had been surgically repaired and had to be injected several times before it was fixed. Just like that, her nose was ruined. Song Yisher was furious and didn't talk to Song Yishuan for a few days. Song Yishuan didn't dare to see her cousin either. After she was discharged from the hospital, she had been hiding on the hospital bed. The medical staff removed the white gauze from her nose. The Song family funded a second plastic surgery for Song Yisher's nose. Not only did they spend many years importing injections from abroad, but they also spent many years importing injections. He even hired a famous plastic surgeon from the capital city. Mayor Song really doted on his daughter. Song Yisher held up the mirror and looked at her nose after her plastic surgery, looking left and right. Give it a try. What do you think? Lady Song looked at her daughter nervously. It's just so. Song Yisher didn't seem particularly satisfied. Why do I feel like you're even prettier than before? Look at how voluptuous and perky you are. You're even prettier than before, Lady Song comforted her daughter. I think so. All right. My little ancestor, as long as you're well, it's fine. You really scared your mother to death. Tell me, why are you hanging out with that lunatic Xianxia? If something really happened, how do you want your mother to live? Don't mention that crazy woman to me. I believe that she regretted it until she died. She almost got me killed. Song Yisher's face darkened at the thought of her cousin. Okay, she was scared out of her wits and was scolded to death by your uncle? Let's be careful this time and drive slower in the future. Mom, does the Qin family know that I'm hospitalized? They do. I told Qin Chu's mother on WeChat. But why didn't they come to see me? Song Yisher asked. Qin Chu's mother said that she went abroad. As for Qin Chu, he probably doesn't know, right? Mom, call Qin Chu and tell him that I'm in the hospital. Sure. Is that necessary? Lady Song didn't understand her daughter's actions. What was the point of calling Qin Chu when she was hospitalized? Of course, I want him to feel bad and know that I'm in this state because of his wife. If Huamin didn't hate me and forced Xianxia to put me in the passenger seat, I wouldn't have gotten into this accident. That woman has ulterior motives. She's afraid that I'll steal Qin Chu away from her, so she wants to kill me. What a vicious woman. But, do you think Qin Chu will believe you? Lady Song was slightly worried. Chapter 12:14. He didn't believe me once or twice, but if I tell him more often, maybe he'll slowly believe me. It's a long road to winning Qin Chu's heart. Mom, I'm not in a hurry, I just want results. As long as Qin Chu is mine in the end, that's enough. I'm willing to do anything. Song Yisher's eyes flashed with a cold light. Lady Song frowned slightly, however, she couldn't dissuade her daughter, so she called Qin Chu. Huamin picked up the phone because Qin Chu was in the shower. I'm Yisher's mother. Oh, how can I help you? Huamin was quite polite. Oh, where's Qin Chu? I'm looking for Qin Chu. He's in the shower. I'm his wife, you can tell me if you need anything. Sure is sick and hospitalized. After all, Qin Chu and my daughter grew up together, so I hope he can come visit. Of course, we don't want any gifts, the Song family doesn't lack anything. We just need a friend's sympathy. I hope you can pass it to Qin Chu. Okay, I understand. Huamin nodded and hung up the phone. Mom, what did he say? Did he come? Song Yisher placed the mirror in her hand on the bed and asked anxiously. Huamin picked it up. Why is it her? Song Yisher was a little angry. She said Qin Chu was in the shower. That woman is a scheming bitch, she's trying to break me and Qin Chu apart. She's so shameless. Song Yisher was furious. Don't be angry, maybe she's telling the truth. Although Lady Song loved her daughter, she didn't think Qin Chu's wife was such a bad woman. What do you know? Huamin is very scheming, or else I wouldn't be in this state. Song Yisher yelled at her mother. Sure, don't be so agitated, this is just right, You should get better. Get better? I don't know if Qin Chu will come visit me. If he doesn't, what's the point of staying here? Hurry up and leave the hospital. It's so annoying. I hate the smell of doctors the most. The formalin is as smelly as the smell of corpses. And these people in white coats, every one of them, I hate, damn doctors. Song Yisher was extremely irritated at the hospital. Because of her prejudice against Huamian, she was also prejudiced against doctors. Whenever she saw a doctor in a white coat, she would be annoyed. Seeing her daughter like this, Mrs. Song didn't dare to say anything else. She didn't want to agitate her. South Qin Chu came out of the shower. His lower body was wrapped in a towel, and his upper body was covered in bronze-colored abs. Huamian gulped and picked up her phone. Honey, it's your call. I'll answer it for you. Who is it? Qin Chu asked as he dried his hair. Song Yisher's mother. What's up? Mr. Qin was expressionless. He didn't care about the Song family. Song Yisher? Wasn't she injured? She was in the hospital because of the car race. Lady Song wants you to go see her daughter. Why should I? I heard that you two grew up together, right? Me and her? Qin Chu sneered. She lived with us for a year, and we barely spoke to each other. She said we grew up together. The Song family sure likes to flatter themselves. So, honey, do you want to go see her? I heard that Song Yishuan only suffered some superficial injuries, but Song Yisher's nose was caved in from the fall. What do you think? Qin Chu glanced at Huamin and asked. Chapter 12:15. If I don't go, will Mayor Song be unhappy? I don't care if the mayor is happy or not. Honey, why are you still standing here if you're not going to take a shower? Mr. Qin asked. I'm on my way, huh? After Huamin answered, she ran into the bathroom like a puff of smoke. Looking at Huamin's petite figure, Qin Chu smiled dotingly. Then, he picked up his phone and turned it off. He wasn't interested in the Song family, nor would he be in the future. The next morning, under the name of the Qin clan couple, Huamin sent a flower basket to Song Yisher's room. Huamin thought that since the Song family wanted to express their condolences, he would give them one. She didn't want to make it seem like she didn't want Qin Chu to visit Song Yisher. However, when Song Yisher saw the flower basket, her hair stood on end. This Huamin obviously has ulterior motives. Why would he give me this? He's cursing me to death. What's wrong, Sure? How is she cursing you when she gave you flowers? Lady Song was dumbfounded to see her daughter throw a tantrum so early in the morning. If he wanted to give me a gift, he should have given me flowers. This flower basket looks like a wreath. It's obviously cursing me. Also, look at the signature. It says Qin clan couple. Isn't he trying to piss me off? Forget it. Throw it away, you damned woman. Song Yisher kicked the flower basket away. Lady Song had no choice but to ask the nurse to take it away. Song Yisher saw that Qin Chu wouldn't come, so she reluctantly left the hospital and went home to recuperate. Another week passed in the blink of an eye. On this day, Song Yisher officially recovered from her illness. In order to curry favor with the mayor's daughter, all the socialites and heirs in the industry held a private banquet. To celebrate, the mayor and his daughter threw her a private party. Wuxia was also invited. He drove his Rolls-Royce Phantom to the private room on the top floor of Seductive Fox. There were more than 30 people inside, both men and women. The smell of cigarettes was very strong in the private room. Some people were singing, some were drinking, and some were playing finger-guessing games. The main character, Song Yisher, was wearing a white strapless dress and sitting in the middle of the sofa. He didn't seem to be in a good mood. Hi, Miss Song. Young Master Hua. Song Yisher raised her head and nodded. Congratulations on your discharge. Wuxia raised a glass of wine. Thank you. The two of them gently clinked their glasses before downing the contents in one go. Then, Wuxia sat on the other side and started to joke around with the socialites. Song Yisher, on the other hand, was surrounded by a few playboys who were fawning over her. Sure, do you want to go to the Maldives? I'll treat you to a vacation, a rich second-generation heir said with a smile. Not interested. Song Yisher coldly refused. What kind of joke was this? Wasn't the Maldives where Huamin and Qin Chu went on their honeymoon? She never planned on going there again. Miss Song, I'm going out to sea on a cruise tomorrow. Let's go together and enjoy the sea breeze. I'm sorry, I haven't fully recovered yet. I can't enjoy the sea breeze, Song Yisher continued to refuse. Little sister Shirshir, I heard that there's a beautiful jade hairpin from the Han Dynasty at the auction next week. I want to buy it for you. Can you come with me? I'm sorry, I don't like antiques. Song Yisher's arrogance made most of the playboys turn her down. Thus, everyone stopped crowding around her. Just then, Huasiqian walked out of the crowd and sat down beside Song Yisher. I heard that you were hospitalized because you were racing with my little sister. Why are you asking the obvious? You did it on purpose, didn't you? Song Yisher coldly looked at Huasiqian. I know you like Qin Chu. To be honest, I don't like Qin Chu being with my little sister either. I want to break them up too. Upon hearing what Huasiqian said, Song Yisher froze for a second. Then she asked in surprise, What do you mean? Maybe we can work together. I think, after all, there's strength in numbers. Work together? Song Yisher was surprised by Huasiqian's suggestion. Chapter 12:16. After all, there's strength in numbers. There's a limit to what you can do alone. But, why should I believe you? How do I know that you're not on Huamin's side, and that you're trying to set me up? Song Yisher was very smart. She obviously didn't believe Huasiqian's words. I believe that you're a smart person and can analyze the situation yourself. First of all, Huamin and I aren't related by blood. She's an illegitimate daughter, and I'm adopted. Second of all, the battle for the shares of the Hua Corporation has always been intense. I'm more interested in her shares, but I can't do anything about it. She's even working with Qin Chu to deal with me, which makes me very unhappy. Third of all, I don't like Qin Chu. Whatever he wants, I feel uncomfortable. So, I'd rather destroy Huamin than let her be by Qin Chu's side. Basically, if they're doing well, I feel uncomfortable. After Huasiqian said this, Song Yisher looked at him suspiciously. The two of them didn't speak for a long time. In the end, Song Yisher couldn't hold it in anymore and asked, Do you have any good ideas? I do have an idea. What is it? Song Yisher asked anxiously. Huasiqian looked around and said in a low voice, Miss Song, there are too many people here, so it's not convenient. How about this? I'll drive you back after this and we'll talk in the car. Song Yisher thought for a moment, hesitated for a few seconds, and finally nodded. Half an hour later, Song Yisher got impatient and announced the end of the party. Then, she refused to be escorted by her friends and got into Huasiqian's car. Can you tell me now? What is it? Song Yisher really wanted to separate Qin Chu and Huasiqian, so she couldn't wait. Huasiqian smiled, not in a hurry to answer. Instead, he took out a bottle of mineral water and handed it to Song Yisher. Don't worry, we have plenty of time. Come, drink some water first. I'm not thirsty, thank you. Song Yisher pushed the bottle of mineral water away. She was actually very cautious. She would not casually drink something that was given to her by others. Huasiqian smiled. Then, he opened the bottle of mineral water and gulped it down. Song Yisher looked at him with a complicated expression. As he screwed the cap back on, he said, Actually, the key to unraveling them is really you. We need you to complete this plan. What's the plan? Tell me about it. Song Yisher made up her mind. Huasiqian had a perfect plan. Otherwise, she wouldn't be wasting her breath here with him. My plan is very complicated. I plan to tell you slowly. Just then, Huasiqian turned on the heater in the car. Song Yisher smelled a strange smell and sneezed twice in a row. What's that strange smell in your car? Song Yisher asked with a frown. Actually, just as Huasiqian said this, Song Yisher's vision went black and she fainted. Hee. I thought you were smart, but you're just a self-righteous idiot. Compared to me, you're overestimating yourself? Miss Song, have a good night's sleep. Tomorrow, you'll be surprised. After speaking, Huasiqian reached out his hand and flicked her cheek with a strange smile on his face. The next morning, Song Yisha slowly woke up. She suddenly thought of something and sat up with a whoosh. Her mind was still blank. Just then, the bathroom door opened and Huasiqian walked out. "Good morning, Miss Song." Song Yisha was dumbfounded. She remembered that last night in Huasiqian's car, they were about to talk about a plan. Then she felt dizzy. Then she completely lost consciousness. Now she was sitting on the bed naked, and Huasiqian walked out of the bathroom. The two of them were in a hotel. At this thought, Song Yisha didn't dare to think any further. "Huasiqian, how dare you trick me?" Song Yisha was furious. Chapter 12:17. Song Yisha curled herself up in bed and refused to raise her head. Never in her wildest dreams did she think that she would be played by Huasiqian. Huasiqian walked over. "Miss Song, you need to face reality." Song Yisha jumped up and tried to slap Huasiqian across the face. However, Huasiqian grabbed her wrist tightly. "Since it was your first time, I'll forgive your rudeness, but don't do it again. I don't like rude women." After speaking, Huasiqian pushed Song Yisha onto the bed. "Why did you do that?" Song Yisha clenched her fists and glared at Huasiqian. She wanted to tear him into pieces. He had never felt so humiliated in his life before. What's there to explain? Huasiqian lit a cigarette and said nonchalantly, "You're despicable and shameless. Didn't you say that you wanted to discuss the plan with me last night? If I didn't say that, would you have gotten in my car?" Huasiqian smiled. Song Yisha was furious. "Why did you do that? Did I ever offend you? Look at what you're saying. I only slept with you. How is that offending you? Miss Song, you're beautiful and have a good family background. You have no lack of suitors. I've been in love with you for a long time. It's just that my methods are a little more direct." "Bastard, how dare you do this to me? Aren't you afraid that I'll tell my dad and kill you?" Song Yisha pointed at Huasiqian and threatened him. "You're welcome to kill me." Huasiqian spread his hands. He didn't seem to care. "I'm going to tell my dad that you drugged me. That's rape, do you know that? Go ahead. It's best if you talk to your dad about whether or not you want to marry me." "What nonsense are you talking about? Who wants to marry you? Why don't you take a look at yourself? You're just an adopted son, a dog. Why should I marry you? Anyway, just wait to be caught." After speaking, Song Yisha hurriedly grabbed her clothes, put them on, and left in a hurry. She walked out of the hotel, still thinking that everything was a dream. Huasiqian didn't seem like a man who was interested in her. Why would he do something like this? Wasn't he afraid of offending her dad? How dare he? Song hailed a taxi and went to the Song's house. Mrs. Song was also surprised to see her like this. Sure, what's wrong? Why didn't you come home last night?" Mrs. Song was extremely worried when she saw her daughter return with disheveled hair and dirty face. "Mom, I'll go upstairs to take a shower and change my clothes first." Song Yisha forced herself to calm down. She went upstairs to take a shower and changed into a clean set of clothes. She carefully reorganized the events of last night. The more she thought about it, the more she felt like it was a trap. Huasiqian purposely teamed up with her, tricked her into the car, and drugged her. At first, she didn't even drink the water Huasiqian handed her because she was wary of him. But later on, she smelled a strange smell in the car and then lost consciousness. Huasiqian took her to the hotel, and then, what happened this morning? So, Huasiqian never wanted to deal with Huamin. They were all bait. But what was her purpose in doing so? Was it just to sleep with her? The strange thing was, Song Yisha didn't feel uncomfortable. It didn't seem like she was violated last night. After all, she was sure of that, but it didn't make sense. If he didn't violate her, then why did he take her to a hotel to spend the night? At this thought, Song Yisha rushed downstairs. Sure. Lady Song walked up to her. "Mom, I'm going out for a bit. I'll talk to you later." Chapter 12:18. Song Yisha put on her sunglasses and drove straight to the OB/GYN department of the first hospital. After the results came out, her suspicions were confirmed. There were no traces of drugs, and she didn't find any condoms at the hotel. Therefore, Huasiqian didn't touch her at all. What was he trying to do? Just as she was thinking, Song Yisher's phone rang. She picked it up impatiently. Hello? Give it a try. Have you seen the news? What news? Song Yisher frowned slightly. You probably don't know yet. I'll send you a link. Take a look. Then her best friend hung up. Song Yisher received a link on WeChat. She clicked on it and was completely dumbfounded. The title was eye-catching. Socialite's daughter and son's relationship is suspected, and they spent the night together at a hotel. The first photo was of Wuxia carrying her into a hotel. The second photo was of the two of them in bed. The so-called bed photo was actually a photo of their faces touching each other when they were asleep. It was obvious that they posed for the photo. The third photo was of her sneaking out of the hotel this morning. With these three photos, her relationship with Wuxia was basically confirmed. Even though she knew that they didn't actually have sex, outsiders wouldn't look at these photos, they would only look at the photos. Damn it. Wuxia. Song Yisher clenched her fists tightly. She bit her lips so hard that they turned white. The person who leaked the photos must have been Wuxia himself, because the second photo was so close to her, so it must have been him. She picked up her phone and dialed a number. What? You miss my mom already? Wuxia was still smiling proudly. Wuxia, what do you want? Song Yisher gritted her teeth and asked word by word. Marry me. I like you so much and we even slept together. I have to be responsible for you. Who wants to marry you? Who wants you to take responsibility for her? You better delete the photos immediately. I'm really sorry. The news has already spread. I guess everyone knows about it now. It's useless to mend the pen after the sheep are lost. I have no enmity with you. Why do you want to harm me? Song Yisher was about to explode from anger. I'm not harming you. I just want to marry you. There are so many women. Why me? Because your father is the mayor. Wuxia was realistic. After hearing this, Song Yisher was so angry that she wanted to swear. She hung up the phone with a bang. When he returned to the Song family, his entire face was dark. Sure, you're finally back. What's going on with the news? Your dad just called me to ask about it. I don't know either. Your dad is furious. Mom, I was set up. Set up? Yeah. Wuxia set me up. There's nothing going on between us. He wants a father-in-law like my dad. That's why he set me up. I was too naive. I actually believed him and got into his car. He was the one who leaked the photos in the news. Then, what should we do now? When is Dad coming back? The day after tomorrow. He's in a meeting in Jing City. Lady Song was also very anxious. Oh no, what should we do? Song Yisher was also panicking. How was she going to deal with this crisis when her dad wasn't home? Most importantly, everything happened so suddenly that she was caught off guard. She never thought that Wuxia would do something to her. Chapter 12-19. Song Yisher originally wanted to sue Wuxia for violating her and claiming that she was drugged and raped. However, those were all words she said out of anger. After she calmed down, she realized that she couldn't say those words. Putting everything else aside, if her father's identity was exposed, how would she survive in the future? Plus, she was a socialite. If news of her being raped were exposed, how would she get married in the future? Not to mention competing with Qin Chu. Reputation was too important. If this was exposed, it would be the biggest scandal in Sea City. The mayor's daughter was raped. Wouldn't that be a joke? Wuxia probably knew that she didn't dare to call the police or bite back. That was probably why he was so ostentatious. Song Yisher wasn't satisfied, so she called Wuxia again. Baby, sure, I'm in a meeting. He purposely said in front of all the board of directors. Wuxia, you just want to use my father's power to help you expand your territory. How about this? If you have any requests, I'll ask my father to help you. However, you have to release a joint statement with me to prove that we were framed and that the photos were photoshopped. Sure, are you kidding me? The photos are real, how could they be photoshopped? Wuxia laughed. Wuxia, is there no room for negotiation? Of course, let's get married. Fuck you, get married, you idiot. This was the first time in Song Yisher's life that she cursed. Huasiqian really forced her into a corner. She wanted to kill him to vent her anger. Faced with Song Yisher's curses, Huasiqian smiled slightly. Baby, stop messing around, I'm in a meeting. See you later. In front of outsiders, everyone thought that Huasiqian and Song Yisher were in a relationship. Even their friends who had hung out with them that night thought that the two of them had gotten drunk and gotten together. Song Yisher's phone was bombarded with messages. There were media reporters, close friends, and some unrelated people. She was about to go crazy from anger. At this moment, she thought of someone who might be able to save her. GK headquarters, Miss Song, our boss is having a meeting. It's okay, I'll wait here. Yang really didn't like Song Yisher now because she knew that their boss was married, yet she still wanted to fight with a young lady over him. Most importantly, she was a troublemaker, always finding fault with Huamin. Fortunately, a young lady was more open-minded and didn't want to lower herself to her level. Sometimes, Yang thought that a young lady was actually quite tired. She had to be on guard against all kinds of vixens every day, including Jiang Linyue and Song Yisher. He was even on guard against his cousin who came from the countryside. What Yang didn't know was that his boss was even more tired. He had to be on guard against Su Yu, Huasiqian, and even an award-winning actor from out of town. He had to constantly worry about his wife being flirted with. That was enough to worry about. That was why it wasn't easy to live at the top of the pyramid, men and women alike. Song Yisher was determined to not leave until she saw Qin Chu. Qin Chu waited for 40 minutes until it was almost noon before the meeting with the executives came to an end. As soon as he returned to his office, he saw Song Yisher sitting there. Qin Chu, you're back. Song Yisher immediately stood up. Qin Chu turned around and glanced at Yang with a murderous look in his eyes. Boss? I tried to talk to Miss Song, but she refused to leave. She said she had something urgent to talk to you about, Yang said innocently. Chapter 12:20. You can leave now. After Qin Chu finished speaking, he coldly glanced at Song Yisher. What's the matter? Qin Chu, you're the only one who can help me now. My dad is in a meeting in Jing City and can't come back. Other than my dad, you're the person I trust the most, so you have to help me. What's the matter? Seeing Song Yisher speak with tears in her eyes, Qin Chu only felt annoyed. He hated it when women cried and wailed to gain sympathy. His Mian wouldn't be like this. Have you seen the news? What news? The one about me and Huasiqian? No. Here's the thing, I was set up by Huasiqian. He set me up for his own benefit and forced me to marry him because of my father's status. I don't want to marry him, but there are so many rumors going around that I can't clear my name. Can you help me? After thinking for a while, Qin Chu said something that almost made Song Yisher vomit blood. He said, I think you and Huasiqian are a good match. Song Yisher's face turned green when she heard this. She smiled awkwardly. Qin Chu, are you joking with me? I never joke with people I don't know well, Qin Chu said with a serious expression. But I don't like Huasiqian. Then why are there photos of you in bed? Qin Chu turned on his phone and saw that his WeChat moments were all over the news. The 3 photos were clear. He raised his phone and showed it to Song Yisher. Song Yisher felt extremely awkward. She exposed photos of her in bed with another man in front of the man she liked. There was nothing more tragic than this. Although she and Huasiqian really didn't do anything, who would believe it? Other than the person involved, no one would believe it. Everyone would only believe what they saw with their own eyes. I fell into his trap. Last night, he told me he wanted to talk to me about something at Seductive Fox. I got into his car and was mesmerized by him. Then he took me to a hotel. That's rape, you know? I'm innocent. It was that despicable Huasiqian who framed me? If that's the case, you should tell the police. I can't tell you. It's about my father's and my reputation. Then it's useless to look for me. I can't help you. I was wondering if you could find someone to suppress the public opinion and help me release a statement saying that we were together last night and that those photos were photoshopped. Sorry, I can't help you, Qin Chu, I'm begging you. Song Yisher cried as she walked over. She actually wanted to throw herself into Qin Chu's arms, hug him, and cry. She wanted him to be gentle with her. However, when she rushed over, Qin Chu suddenly dodged. Song Yisher's head hit the tempered glass. There was a loud bang. She didn't expect this, so she saw stars. "Sir, what's wrong?" Yang, who was outside the door, heard the commotion. He immediately opened the door and came in to check. "Yang, see her out." "Qin Chu, we've known each other for so many years. We grew up together." "Don't tell me you." Before Song Yisher could finish, Qin Chu mercilessly interrupted her. "Let me correct you. I don't even know you. You only lived in my house when you were young, but we didn't talk. So, basically, we don't have any feelings for each other. Don't mislead others with these words." After hearing Qin Chu's words, Song Yisher's expression turned cold. She never thought that Qin Chu could be so heartless. Why was he always so gentle to Huamin? It was as if he couldn't bear to speak loudly to Huamin. What was the difference between her and Huamin? "Miss Song, this way please." Yang saw an opportunity and walked up to her. Song Yisher helplessly covered her head and walked out in embarrassment. Southside Recuperation Center, Huamin was about to take a lunch break when her phone started ringing with WeChat notifications. She picked it up and was dumbfounded. Chapter 12:21. It turned out to be Huamin, Jiang Xiaowei, and Zhu Lingling's WeChat group. As the saying goes, 3 women make a show. This saying was true. Huamin was a person who didn't like to gossip, but after being influenced by the 2 of them, he slowly became one as well. The 3 of them often teased and joked in the group, and sometimes they even dug into the celebrities' private lives. Huamin was busy all morning, so he didn't know about the news about Wuxia and Song Yisher. However, Zhu Lingling and Jiang Xiaowei were the 2 gossipers. Zhu Lingling. Okay, take a look, the #1 scandal in Sea City. The mayor's daughter fooled around with a man in a hotel. How shameless. Jiang Xiaowei, does she have any shame? Sleeping with Wuxia is too good for her. At least Wuxia is a handsome guy. It would be a miracle if she didn't find a gigolo. Huamin, everyone, what happened? What do you mean by sleeping together? Who slept with who? Zhu Lingling, Mian, your hospital doesn't have internet. Didn't you see the news? Jiang Xiaowei, here's the link. You're welcome. Please add me. Huamin clicked on the link that Jiang Xiaowei gave him and was dumbfounded. Wuxia and Song Yisher? This was an unimaginable couple. There was no news about them before. What was going on? Huamin, is this real? Jiang Xiaowei, I don't think it's fake. Although they didn't say anything, I asked the technical department to analyze the photo. It wasn't photoshopped at all. The bed photo is real, so they must be having an affair. Maybe it was just a drunken hookup, but they were found out. Huamin, speechless. Zhu Lingling, Wuxia's taste is terrible. Emo Shui is so pretty, she's even more real than Song Yisher. Why would he sleep with her? I don't understand, Jiang Xiaowei. I'm curious too. Last time at Wuxia's cosplay party, I noticed that Wuxia seemed to hate Song Yisher. There shouldn't be any sparks between them. Could it be? Zhu Lingling, what do you mean? What is Professor Zhang's opinion? Jiang Xiaowei, are you talking about avenging my Mian and getting rid of her scourge? Huamin, ugh. Huamin really didn't know what to say. However, when he thought about it carefully, Jiang Xiaowei's words made sense. Wuxia had said more than once that he would help her deal with Song Yisher. At that time, she didn't think much of it and thought that he was just saying it casually. After all, Song Yisher was the mayor's daughter, so it wasn't easy to deal with her. Now that she saw the news that Wuxia slept with Song Yisher, it was indeed shocking. Could this be the revenge that Wuxia was talking about? This is really an accident, Zhu Lingling. I don't care so much. Anyway, bitch Song scandal this time is really karma. With her scumbag appearance, she should have exposed some dirt a long time ago so that she doesn't have to act all high and mighty and pretend to be a goddess. It's disgusting. Jiang Xiaowei, you're right. This time, she'll suffer a lot. I'm looking forward to seeing how she deals with this, huh? Then, Jiang Xiaowei went to see no Weibo. Many fans asked Jiang Xiaowei on her Weibo, is the song goddess thing true? These fans had always thought that she and Bitch Song were good friends. Jiang Xiaowei didn't say much. She only posted 2 words on Weibo, congratulations. What was worse was that she at Song Yisher and Huosiqian. This way, Huosiqian and Song Yisher's relationship was confirmed. Jiang Xiaowei's fans were in an uproar as they gossiped. Chapter 12:22. Ha, I told you it was real. Even Dr. Jiang came to congratulate them. Yeah, I didn't think that song goddess would fall for President Hua. I heard that President Hua is a playboy. Wow, looks like our Weiwei knows the inside story. Isn't President Hua in a relationship with Mo Shui? Why is he involved with Song Yisher? Gosh, the rich circle sure is messy. Don't talk about Shui, you idiot. Mo Shui's fans went crazy and started arguing. It seems like they're going to announce their relationship soon. Then, a large group of fans went to Song Yisher's Weibo to spam. Song Yisher's most recent Weibo post was last night when she was having a party at Seductive Fox. She took a selfie. It was beautiful. Then, she took a glass of red wine. She wrote, I've recovered from a serious illness and have been discharged from the hospital. Thank you to everyone who cared about me. Fans started spamming this Weibo post. Goddess, is it true that you and President Hua are together? Sure, why did you choose Huosiqian? He's a playboy and has a bad reputation in the circle. Song Goddess, Huosiqian is in a relationship with Mo Shui. You need to be careful. Pretty girl, do I have no chance? Boo-hoo, Goddess, when are you going to send us wedding candy? Congratulations, you're finally going to be single. We believe in your taste. It's hard to say right now. Don't make things worse. Our Sure hasn't admitted it yet. It hasn't been confirmed yet. Didn't Dr. Jiang admit it? He even tagged Sure. I think it's most likely true, right? Yeah, President Hua is single. Our Sure is also single. They're a perfect match. No matter what, we'll give you our blessings and support your decisions. Sure, good luck. We love you. Baby Sure, can you send us a selfie? No matter how I look at it, you're still the prettiest. You're natural, unlike those plastic surgery bitches. Sure, I've always thought that you and President Qin are a perfect match. It's a pity that he's married. What a pity, I've always thought that you two would be a couple. Song Yisher inadvertently scrolled through Weibo and was about to go crazy. This matter was already messy enough, and Jiang Xiaowei actually came to add insult to injury, which really made her choke with anger. However, there was no way for her to clarify the matter unilaterally. After all, she wasn't sure if Huosiqian had more shocking revelations, so she could only swallow her anger. After this matter was exposed, there was another person who was extremely concerned about it. It was Mo Shui. It was true that she was pregnant. It was also true that she was pregnant with Huosiqian's child. However, she did not expect such a thing to happen between Huosiqian and Song Yisher at this critical juncture. In this way, the matter of her using the child to force him to marry her would be far in the future. Hua Group headquarters. Mo Shui walked in wearing high heels and a dark brown cashmere coat. She looked like a queen. The truth was, Mo Shui was pretty good in all aspects. It was just that Huosiqian never wanted to marry her. Xiqian, why are you here? Huosiqian looked up. I'm here to congratulate you. Congratulations on finally finding a good wife for yourself. Song Yisher is really good, and most importantly, her father is good. Mo Shui's mocking tone was so obvious that Huosiqian could obviously hear it. If you're here to mock me, then go ahead. I'm going back to work. Huosiqian didn't care what Mo Shui said. He didn't need to explain to anyone what he had decided on. Seeing Huosiqian like this made Mo Shui even angrier. She walked over in a few steps, grabbed the documents in Huosiqian's hands, and threw them to the side. Huosiqian, are you serious this time? You chose Song Yisher? Chapter 12:23. So what? What does that have to do with you? Huasiqian raised his head and retorted mercilessly. Emo Shue's heart ached as she clutched her stomach. I always thought that even if I couldn't marry you, giving birth to your child would be a blessing. At least, you can't marry me because of someone you like. But, the person you like isn't Song Yisher. Why did you marry her? Didn't you say it yourself? Because she has a good father. Huasiqian didn't think much of it. Emo Shue shook her head. You can fool others, but you can't fool me. With your abilities, you don't need Mayor Song's help. You don't need to sacrifice yourself for them. You're only doing this for one person, right? Upon hearing this, Huasiqian's expression changed slightly. Stop trying to be smart with me, it's not good for you to talk too much. Huasiqian stared at Emo Shue with a hint of annoyance. Logically speaking, after being together for so many years, they understood each other and their feelings for each other should be quite deep. Even if they didn't love each other, after sleeping with each other for so long, there should be something going on. However, Huasiqian felt like Emo Shue was becoming less and less cute. She clearly didn't have a high IQ, but she liked to pretend to be smart. She was always a busybody, and in the past year, she didn't talk much either. He was tired of her, so sometimes, he would rather sleep with young plastic surgery models than touch her. Are you scared? I'm going to say it. Does she know that you've done so much for her? Actually, you're quite pitiful. You're not even as honest as Suyu. At least Suyu dares to speak his mind and tell the whole world how he feels about her. You, on the other hand, are just like a rat who can only hide in the dark and watch her. Or rather, covet her. But she doesn't know what you're thinking. She'll never know. Emo Shue was also triggered by Huasiqian and Song Yisher. That was why she said these things without caring about her image. Huasiqian was really angry, so he suddenly stood up. She grabbed Emo Shue by the neck, then he pinned her down and pushed her against the wall. Do you believe that I can make you disappear from this world anytime I want? Then, so what? It doesn't matter if I die or not, but as long as Qin Chu is alive, you will never get Huamin. Huasiqian was infuriated by Emo Shue's words. He grabbed Emo Shue's neck and lifted her up slowly. With a bang, he was thrown 3 meters away. Emo Shue felt dizzy from the fall. She lay on the ground, unable to get up no matter how hard she tried. Huasiqian was scary when he was angry, but when Huasiqian was scary, he was also cold and heartless. She felt a sharp pain in her stomach. Dark red blood splattered out from under her body. Child. She lay on the ground, her face pale. I never wanted to have a child. People like me shouldn't have children, because when they're born, they'll be even scarier than I am. After speaking, Huasiqian sneered and dialed an internal number. Take her to the hospital. Emo Shue was sent to the first hospital by Huasiqian's employees. She couldn't keep the child, so she immediately had an abortion when she arrived at the hospital. Emo Shue lay on the operating table with tears in her eyes. She hated Huasiqian, and she also hated the woman that Huasiqian had been obsessed with for so many years. After work, Huamin came out and saw Qin Chu's car parked outside. She happily got into the car. Honey, I'm a little hungry. So, do you want to have sex in the car? Qin Chu faintly replied. Chapter 12:24. Ahem, what are you talking about? I'm really hungry, not that kind of hungry. She was speechless to have a dirty-minded husband at home. Qin Chu smiled slightly and drove away. What are we eating? Honey. Gao Ran and the others are waiting for us to eat hot pot. Is Bashu restaurant okay? That's great. Huamin smiled. Bashu restaurant was a special hot pot restaurant that was famous for its spiciness. It was said that the chili oil was made from red peppers that were only found in Sichuan. It tasted incredibly sour. If it was someone who had never eaten it before, they would definitely have diarrhea the first time they ate it. However, the 4 of them could handle spicy food and couldn't eat anything without it. Upon hearing that they were going to eat hot pot with Gao Ran and Zhu Lingling, Huamin's mood improved even more. Did you see the news today? Qin Chu asked casually. Huh? Honey, you like to gossip too? Huamin tilted his head and looked at Qin Chu, amused. It's quite sudden. Me too. My first reaction was that the photo wasn't real, but she slightly said that the photo wasn't photoshopped. She had someone verify it, so it shouldn't be wrong. I'm more curious about Huasiqian's motive. Qin Chu felt a little uneasy. Every time Huasiqian did something big, he had this feeling. Isn't he trying to suck up to Mayor Song? Qin Chu shook his head. With the Hua Corporation's current power, even without the Song family's support, he's like a fish in water. So, there's no need for him to do this. Any socialite would be a good choice. I don't know why he chose Song Yisher. Maybe it's because he thinks she's suitable? Huamin didn't mention that Huasiqian promised to help him get rid of Song Yisher. Firstly, he was afraid that Qin Chu would think too much. Secondly, Huasiqian's words might not necessarily be true. It was true that outsiders could not understand the way he did things. At this time, Huamin's phone rang. Hello? Chua. It was Mo Shui. Huamin. I had a miscarriage. Huamin was surprised again. Didn't Mo Shui just promise her that she would keep the child? Why did she have an abortion so soon? I'm at the hospital. The baby is gone. Mo Shui's voice was weak. What's wrong with you? Is it related to today's news? Huamin asked. Anyway, he doesn't care if I live or die. It's good that the child is gone, at least he won't have to suffer with me. Then you should rest well. The company will give you some time off. Don't feel burdened. I know, Huamin. Do you know why Huasiqian did this to Song Yisher? Mo Shui suddenly asked. I'm not sure. Huamin replied uncertainly. Ha! Mo Shui's laughter made Huamin's hair stand on end. What's wrong? Nothing, I was just asking. Go do what you need to do. Then Mo Shui hung up the phone. Huamin was confused by the series of events that happened. She had a feeling that the news and Mo Shui's miscarriage had something to do with Huasiqian. However, no one could understand that man's thoughts. When they arrived at Basha restaurant, Gao Ran and Zhu Lingling had already ordered food. The four of them chatted casually in the private room. Just then, Zhu Lingling was scrolling through the news on her phone when she suddenly said, Hey, look, there's news about the Hua Corporation again. Huamin looked down and saw that it said, the chairman of the Hua Corporation, Mr. Huasiqian, has resigned. With 75% of the company's shares, Mr. Huasiqian has become the heir to the Hua Corporation. From now on, he will be in charge of the Hua Corporation's lifeline. The old man lost. Huamin said faintly. Huasiqian has been making a lot of moves lately. Is he up to something big? Gao Ran felt like something was wrong. Chapter 12:25. It's hard to say. Qin Chu thought about it seriously. Hey, let's not worry about that. What does their business have to do with us? Even if Huasiqian really likes bitch song, that's their business. There's a saying that goes, a bitch and a dog will last forever. Even though Huasiqian isn't a dog, but Song Yisher is a bitch. Yeah, that's it. Zhu Lingling analyzed with a smile. Huamin, Qin Chu, Gao Ran, Lingling, watch your words. You can't be so rude. You're going to be a family member of a police officer. Zhu Lingling rolled her eyes at him and retorted, so what if I'm a family member of a police officer? Can't family members speak freely? She's a bitch, but she doesn't let people talk about her. If she doesn't want people to talk about her, then she shouldn't be such a bitch. Okay, let's not talk about this here. The question is, I'm hungry. Can we eat now? Huamin looked at the boiling hot pot and was about to drool. Maybe it was because she had a lot of work, she was busy all afternoon and didn't eat much for lunch, so she was especially hungry. You've been eating a lot lately. What's going on? Are you pregnant? Screw you. Hurry up and eat, I'm starving. Huamin was speechless. Hurry up and tell me, are you pregnant? Zhu Lingling also wanted Huamin to be pregnant. Therefore, she was more anxious than she was. I'm really not pregnant, sis. My period just came. After Huamin finished speaking, even Gao Ran looked awkward. Do you have any plans for the end of the year? Aren't you guys going on vacation? Gao Ran changed the subject. No, I'm staying at home with Mian's mom, Qin Chu said faintly. Good son-in-law, you know that Jixin isn't home, so you're extra nice to your mother. Zhu Lingling was Mr. Qin's die-hard fan. He gave Mr. Qin a thumbs up. The four of them chatted as they ate, in the villa of the Song family. The coverage of this incident was so good that it became a big drama. Almost every day, the media would talk about this matter. Lady Song would be surrounded by the media as soon as she stepped out of the house. Song Yixia was so scared that she didn't even dare to leave the house. Initially, he thought that he could just drag it out and wait for Mayor Song to come back. That night, Wuxia went on a financial interview program. In the end, he revealed his relationship on the program. This made Song Yixia very angry. It was originally a financial program with a low income rate. However, the news had been too hot recently, causing this program to become the viewership champion for the same period of time. When Huamin returned home, he turned on the TV and happened to watch this scene. It was supposed to be a program about stocks, but at the end of the segment, the host suddenly asked, "President Hua, since the news has been quite popular lately, I would like to gossip a little. Can you tell us about your relationship with Miss Song Yixia?" Wuxia first smiled, then he said, "Xianxia is very beautiful, I've always admired her." Oh, the audience sighed. This sentence made the relationship between the two even more ambiguous. Are those photos real? The host asked again. Those photos are real, but it's not what everyone thinks. At the time, we had a lot to drink, so we went to a hotel to rest. However, we didn't do anything. Wuxia did this on purpose. The more he talked about it, the worse the situation became, an adult man and woman checking into a 5-star hotel and not doing anything? Who would believe it if he told them? Therefore, Wuxia was very good with his words. With his words, he confirmed their relationship. However, the truth was, Wuxia really didn't do anything that night. After he drugged Song Yixia, he took off her clothes and threw her onto the bed. Wuxia played games on his phone for half the night. In the end, he was tired, so he lay down on the sofa for a while. Although he was a playboy, he was very picky and didn't sleep with just any woman. He was disgusted by Song Yixia's face, so even if she asked him to do it, he wouldn't do it. In front of the Song Yixia was so angry that her hands trembled. "Wuxia, you and I are irreconcilable. You hurt me like this, let's see how I'll get back at you." Chapter 12:26. Wuxia's visit unintentionally pushed the issue to the climax. 2 days later, Song Yixia put on a pair of sunglasses and discreetly sat in her chauffeur's Audi A8 to pick up Mayor Song at the airport. She originally thought that she would be discreet and wouldn't be discovered, but she was still surrounded by paparazzi. "Miss Song, did you and Mr. Wuxia announce your relationship? Miss Song, there are rumors that you wanted to interfere with President Qin and Lady Qin's marriage. Is that true? Miss Song, what do you think about what Wuxia said last night? Miss Song, out of all your suitors, is Mr. Hua the most outstanding? Is the Hua Corporation the company that Mayor Song wants to support? Miss Song, you and Huamin are good friends, so did Mrs. Qin introduce you to Wuxia? Has the wedding date been set? Will it be in China? Will you work at the Hua Corporation after marriage? Will you still be in art school? Did Mayor Song agree to your marriage? Can you tell us more about it? There are also rumors that you two weren't close before. Was it a mistake after drinking? After all, you're both adults. So, was it a one-night stand with President Hua? Would Mayor Song mind your private life being so casual? No matter how smart Song Yixia was, she couldn't handle the reporter's indiscriminate questions. She was completely stunned, her face was dark and she didn't say a word. Under the guidance of her bodyguard, she went straight to the VIP lounge. After entering, she took off her sunglasses and threw them on the table. Miss Song, your coffee. Take it away, I'm not thirsty, Song Yixia said in a bad mood. Wuxia really messed up all her plans. Otherwise, she would have gone one step further and exposed Huamin's dirty secrets. She had even thought of a plan and implemented the first step, but she didn't expect that before she could do anything. Wuxia made the first move and set her up. Song Yixia was clear that Wuxia did not frame her because he liked her. He would not marry her just because of her father's right. She had a feeling that Huamin had something to do with this. Could it be that Huamin and Huaxiqian were in cahoots to frame her? It was hard to say. Huaxiqian, Huamin, these two bitches, no one with the surname Th is a good person. One day, I will make sure that there is no one with the surname Th in Sea City. How disgusting. Song Yisher clenched her fists and made up her mind. 20 minutes later, Mayor Song came out from the VIP passage. Dad. She immediately walked up to him. Let's talk in the car. Mayor Song's expression was serious. He had been an official his whole life and had nothing to worry about. He was about to retire in a few years. Yet he caused such a huge mess. If Mayor Song hadn't been in Jing City, this incident wouldn't have dragged on until now. In the Audi A8, Mayor Song glanced at his daughter. What happened? Dad? Huaxiqian was lying. He set me up, did you know that? Why did he set you up? How would I know? Maybe part of it was because he wanted to use your power, and the other part, maybe it was because of some other grudge. Anyways, nothing happened between us. Do you know how despicable he is? He drugged me and dragged me to the hotel. I didn't know what happened until I woke up and realized it was a trap. It's all my fault for being so careless. I didn't think Huaxiqian would be so daring as to touch me. He really doesn't want to live anymore. Dad, you can't let him go this time. Song Yisher rattled on and on about what had happened. Chapter 12:27. Mayor Song listened to her quietly. Dad, why don't you call the police and arrest him? He's a criminal. He drugged me and then kidnapped me. Yes, we can also charge him with rape. What do you think? For the past few days, Song Yisher had been thinking about how to deal with Huaxiqian. After all, her father wasn't the mayor for nothing. Sure, it's not that simple. If he was an ordinary man, it might be possible, but he's Huaxiqian. I've been investigating him for the past 2 days. He's very powerful and has a good relationship with many government officials. His influence in the city is also deeply rooted. If we arrest him for no reason and we don't even have evidence, something will happen. He's just an ordinary entrepreneur. How can he be so powerful? An ordinary entrepreneur? Who told you he's an ordinary entrepreneur? Mayor Song coldly glanced at his daughter's face. Isn't he? Song Yisher was confused. Of course not, he's a complicated person. He has connections with foreign forces. Anyways, we can't touch him. Then what should we do now? The news is getting out of hand and I don't want to affect you because of me. Mayor Song was silent for a long time. Finally, he made a decision. Marry him. Dad, are you stupid? Song Yisher immediately exploded. I'm not stupid. You're the one who's stupid. This is the best solution. We can't ignore our image. We have no other choice. Dad, I don't want to marry him. I want to kill him right now. This is only a temporary solution. After you get married, you can find an excuse to get a divorce. But right now, we have to get married. Otherwise, we won't be able to stop people from talking. Dad, but... Song Yisher wanted to say something, but Mayor Song stopped her with one sentence. No buts. If you still care about my reputation and the Song family's reputation, then listen to me. Tomorrow, you can hold a press conference and announce your relationship. Didn't Huaxiqian say that he wants to marry you? Then get married. Mayor Song's words were a done deal. Song Yisher's heart fell to the bottom once again. She thought that when her father came back, he would think of a way to salvage the situation. Who knew that her father would actually ask her to get married? She was so angry. In the afternoon, Song Yisher drove to the Qin family. She saw Lady Qin, whom she hadn't seen in a long time. Mama Qin, I miss you so much. She took the initiative to give Lady Qin a hug, but Lady Qin was not as enthusiastic as before and hugged her back. He just asked calmly, "Why are you here?" "I miss you so much. By the way, where's Mr. Qin?" "He's out playing golf with an old friend." Oh. Song Yisher then looked around as if she was looking for something. Mama Qin, has Qin Chu come back recently? No, he's busy. Actually, it's possible that Huamin doesn't want him to come back. Huamin is a very vengeful person. After what you did to her in the past, She must have something against you. No, Huamin is a very kind child. We've already talked things out. Lady Qin directly refuted. Song Yisher felt a little awkward and then said, Mama Qin, have you seen the news these past few days? Oh, it's about your relationship with that kid from the Hua family, right? I was just about to tell you that he's a good guy. Although he's the adopted son of the Hua family, he's the one calling the shots in the family. He's also good-looking, so I don't think your parents would disagree. Why did you have to make it onto the news? You're embarrassing your father. Lady Qin's tone sounded like she was lecturing her. Chapter 12:28. Mama Qin, that's not true. I'm not in a relationship with him, he set me up. Set you up? Yeah, he's Huamin's older brother, so I think Huamin said something to him, and that's why he set me up. That's impossible, Mian isn't the type to stir up trouble. Plus, she doesn't have a good relationship with that guy. She also left the Hua Corporation and didn't ask for any shares, so what you said doesn't make sense. Lady Qin obviously didn't believe Song Yisher's words. Mama Qin, Huamin isn't as simple as you think. Yeah, you're not as simple as I think you are either. Lady Qin looked at Song Yisher and said word for word. Mama Qin? Song Yisher was surprised by Lady Qin's words. Sure, I used to like you a lot. You're a child and you used to live with us, so I treated you like family. When you lived with us for a year, you ate whatever Qin Chu ate, and we didn't treat you badly. Later, when you went abroad and your dad got promoted, he took extra care of our family. Our families are old friends now. You're right. Song Yisher nodded. In the past, I did want you to be Qin Chu's wife. After all, our families are well matched, and you're an obedient and sensible child. But later, I realized that love can't be forced. No matter how much I like you, it doesn't matter if Qin Chu doesn't like you. Plus, I realized that Huamin is a good kid, except for his family background, so I didn't want to make things difficult for him. But you, if you really care about our family, you shouldn't continue to talk bad about Huamin. It's normal for girls to be jealous, but if you keep being jealous of others, then you'll never be happy. You're still young, so why bother? Am I right? Lady Qin's words didn't have a single dirty word, but Song Yisher's face turned red. She couldn't even lift her head. Mama Qin, I'm not targeting Huamin, nor am I jealous of her. I just think that she doesn't treat Qin Chu that well. Qin Chu treats her too well, so it's a little unfair. Song Yisher explained. Love is never fair. I've been married to your father for more than 20 years, and I've bullied him for more than 20 years. Is he going to divorce me because of this? Song Yisher, Lady Qin was very eloquent. Song Yisher was speechless. Besides, whether it's fair or not is a matter between the two of them. I hope that no matter if it's you or me, we won't get involved, right? Yes. Song Yisher forced herself to nod. Sure, you're not young anymore. Qin Chu has been married for so long, you should let go of what you should. You're still young, and you need to have your own family. So, I hope that you won't be so impulsive in the future. Mama Qin is right. Song Yisher forced a smile. Song Yisher didn't waste any more time. She hurriedly said goodbye to Lady Qin, turned around, and left the Qin manor. You old bitch. How dare you lecture me? Who do you think you are? Song Yisher slammed the steering wheel in exasperation. She hadn't been doing well recently. Ever since the car accident, nothing seemed to go well for her. It was as if she stepped on asshole. She blamed all of this on Huamin. If it weren't for her, she wouldn't be so unlucky. In this world, there was such a person who never reflected on her own mistakes. Every time something unpleasant happened, she would blame others and so on. Song Yisher was this type of person. Southside Recuperation Center, Huamin had been busy all morning. Just as he was about to eat, he saw Song Yisher angrily barge into his office. Huamin, let's talk. Chapter 12:29. Huamin glanced at Song Yisher coldly. No need, I don't think there's anything to talk about between us. It wasn't like before, when at least they didn't have a falling out. However, after the car race with Song Yishuan last time, Huamian broke up with him. This meant that he had broken up with Song Yisha. Since they didn't like each other, there was no need to pretend to be friends anymore. He also didn't want to waste his precious time on Song Yisha. Huamin used to think that she was pretty smart and had more tricks up her sleeve than Jiang Linyue. However, he later realized that she was just as stupid. She couldn't learn from her mistakes and still wouldn't turn back. She was terrifyingly stubborn. "You have to talk to me," Song Yisha said in a firm tone. Huamin sneered. Then he said gently, "Miss Song, I think I need to remind you that when you and your sister lost the car race last time, other than paying the full amount of compensation, you also had to stay away from me, Huamin. Your cousin is better than you and has already fulfilled her promise. However, not only did you not avoid me, you even came to me? So, are you going to break your promise? Do you think that if I delete the video, you won't have any evidence to prove it? Of course I came to you for something. This isn't about the bet anymore, it's about your character and morals." Song Yisha was so angry that her face turned pale. Huamin raised his eyebrows. "Oh, then tell me, how am I a person with a character and morals? Don't think that I don't know that you and Huasiqian are in cahoots. You two teamed up against me and set up such a huge trap for me to jump into. How despicable. I've never seen a woman as vicious as you. I'm sorry, I'm very busy every day and don't care whose bed you slept with. I don't have the time to plan all of this. But then again, Huasiqian slept with you and was willing to publicly acknowledge your relationship. He's giving you face. I thought you guys only went on a date." Song Yisha was about to explode when she heard Huamin's words. "Woman, what are you talking about? I already said that nothing happened between us. You guys set me up? What does it have to do with me whether you guys said anything or not? I'm not interested in your business. You're an interesting person. As soon as you do something, you come looking for trouble with me. Do you think I'm that easy to bully? Do you really think I'm that? Ms. Song, do you know that in ancient China, there's a 4-word idiom called, 'enough is enough'? There's also a popular internet saying, 'If you don't ask for trouble, you won't die.' If you really like someone, don't ask for trouble. Just live your life, isn't that great?" Huamin was no longer polite to Song Yisha. So what if her father was the mayor? Even if the mayor came to Huamin's office to pick a fight, she would still talk back, let alone the mayor's daughter. Otherwise, these people would really take advantage of her. Song Yisha pointed at Huamin and gritted her teeth. "Huamin, do you know? You're so fucking annoying. I've never seen a woman who likes to show off as much as you do. Do you think that Qin Chu likes you, Suyu likes you, and the whole world likes you? Look at yourself. Why don't you take a look at yourself? Not only are you ugly, but you're also a poor commoner. You're so arrogant just because you're a doctor. What do you have to show off? You're just scheming, so you deceive those men. They all think that you're very innocent, but in fact, you're just a scheming bitch. You're just good at pretending. They were all deceived by your appearance." Chapter 12:30. Let me interrupt you for a second. First of all, let me clarify that I've never been pure. Even if I'm a scheming bitch, I'm still the best of the bitches. I'm not like you, who doesn't understand bitches. I feel embarrassed for you when someone tore off your mask. You said that I don't have the right to show off, and that's true, but what about you? If you didn't have your father, who do you think you are? With that face of yours that looks like a celebrity's? There are so many people who look better than you. Even the waitresses at Seductive Fox are better than you. To put it bluntly, you should really thank your father. If it weren't for him, even if you went to Seductive Fox, you wouldn't be good looking. So, don't think too highly of yourself. It's okay to be shameless, but it's not good to be ignorant. Huamin never lost in an argument. The question was whether she wanted to argue or not. Jiang Xiaowei and Zhu Lingling were both very good at talking, but in front of Huamin, they didn't dare to say that they were good at talking. Therefore, Song Yisha originally wanted to torture Huamin to vent her emotions. She didn't expect that Huamin would torture her until she was covered in bruises. Huamin's talent at cursing was that he didn't use any profanities and didn't mention the other party's parents. Just one sentence after another was enough to make you feel like you're going to die. Compared to Song Yisha, who kept talking about fucking things, Huamin was much more refined. Huamin, I'm telling you, even if I really marry Huasiqian, I won't give up on Qin Chu. As long as I, Song Yisher, am alive, I will never let you and Qin Chu live in peace. In the end, Song Yisher couldn't win against Huamin in an argument, so she said some harsh words. Huamin, on the other hand, looked calm as he replied faintly, after hearing what you said, I really want the heavens to bless you with an early death. Otherwise, it won't do us any good if you're still alive. If Song Yisher had a heart attack, she would be foaming at the mouth because of Huamin. Anyone who played against Huamin had to be mentally strong. Therefore, at Song Yisher's level, she would be defeated within a few minutes. In the end, he was at a loss for words. I won't argue with you. The one who laughs in the end is the winner. Anyway, let's wait and see. Please remember our bet in the future. If you see me in the future, please avoid me. Otherwise, I can restore the deleted video in minutes and release it to the public. You've been so popular recently, and you're on the news every day. I don't think this is a big deal. How dare you? Don't provoke me. I really do dare to do anything. There's nothing you can't imagine, and there's nothing I don't dare to do. Huamin chuckled. Song Yisher was so angry that she turned her head, slammed the door of the office, and left. Chief, what's going on? Is she a patient looking for trouble? Chen Jie walked in worriedly. Yeah, she's mentally ill. Don't worry about her. Huamin obviously didn't care about Song Yisher and wasn't angry that she came looking for trouble. Chen Jie nodded, closed the door in relief, and continued to work. At noon, Huamin finished lunch, but it wasn't time yet. Therefore, she scrolled through her WeChat moments and Weibo. Recently, a lot of people were talking about Huasiqian and Song Yisher in her WeChat moments, but she was too lazy to say anything. Then Huamin logged into Weibo and scrolled through it. Suddenly, she saw an unread private message a few minutes ago. She opened it and saw that the person who sent the message was Jian Tong. Huamin wasn't familiar with Jian Tong, but she knew who she was because she was now the #1 actress at Imperial Star. Her TV series and movies were so popular that they were almost as popular as Mo Shui. Rumors said that Jian Tong was having an affair with Lord Su, and that was why she was so popular. She was in the entertainment industry, but no director dared to sleep with her. I'm so jealous of you. That was all she sent. Huamin froze and replied in confusion, Sis, did you send it to the wrong person? You're tuning in to the Wang Lin's Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.